storm came without warning. Dark clouds swallowed the sky, and the wind screamed like it was alive. The man ran across the rocky ground, his breath short and painful. Rain hit his face like sharp needles, and thunder cracked so loud that the earth itself seemed afraid. He was known as Earth's prototype, a name given by scientists who once believed he could change the future. Now that same name was spoken with laughter. They had laughed at him. They said he was a mistake, a failed experiment, a waste of time and money. Some even called him a monster, pretending to be human. As he ran, memories burned inside his mind. White rooms, bright lights, cold voices, men and women in lab coats shaking their heads. One of them had said, "He will never be what we wanted." The rain grew heavier. The storm was not normal. It felt angry, unnatural. Lightning struck the ground behind him, throwing sparks into the air. He slipped, fell to his knees, and gasped for air. His body was stronger than normal humans, but even he had limits. Then he saw it. A dark opening in the side of the mountain, half hidden by shadows and rain. A cave. He did not think. He only ran the moment he crossed into the cave. The sound of the storm faded. The rain stayed outside, like it was afraid to enter. Inside, the air was cold, far colder than it should be. The cave smelled old, not like rock and dirt, but like time itself. He walked deeper, his footsteps echoing softly. The darkness felt thick, heavy, as if it was watching him. He touched the cave wall and quickly pulled his hand back. It felt warm. Stone should not be warm. His heart began to race. This place was wrong. Behind him, the wind howled at the cave entrance, but no rain crossed the line. It was as if the storm had stopped chasing him. Then the silence broke. A sound rose from deep within the cave. Not a growl, not a breath, but a voice, slow, deep, and ancient. The words were clear, too clear, fresh, human. Found. His body froze, every muscle locked in fear. He turned, searching the darkness, but saw nothing. No eyes, no shape, no movement. The voice spoke again, closer this time. It carried hunger, but also something else. Curiosity. "You smell different," the voice said, "not like the others." His mind screamed at him to run, but his legs would not move. He had faced machines, tests, pain, and human cruelty, but this fear was older, deeper. He forced himself to speak, his voice shaking. "Who are you?" The cave seemed to breathe. Shadows shifted along the walls, forming shapes that vanished when he looked directly at them. "I have waited," the voice answered. "Long before your kind learned to make fire." A low sound followed, almost like a laugh, or maybe a warning. The ground beneath his feet trembled slightly. Dust fell from the ceiling. "You were not meant to be here," the voice said. "Yet, you are exactly what I was waiting for." His chest tightened. The scientists had called him a failure, a broken design, but this thing, whatever it was, did not see him that way. "Run," the voice whispered softly, "or stay and learn why you were made." Lightning flashed outside the cave, lighting the entrance for a brief moment. He stood between the storm and the darkness, and for the first time in his life, Earth's prototype realized that being laughed at by humans might have saved his life, or doomed it forever. The silence after the voice was worse than the storm outside. Earth's prototype stood still, his ears ringing, his heart beating so loud he thought the cave could hear it. The darkness felt closer now, like it was pressing against his skin. He took one slow step back, then another, but the ground beneath him suddenly shifted. Stone scraped against stone. The cave entrance behind him slowly closed. Not fast, not loud, but calm and final. "No," he whispered, his voice weak. He ran toward the entrance, pushing against the rock, but it did not move. It felt alive. The ancient voice returned, softer now, almost amused. "There is no storm for you anymore," it said, "only truth." A faint glow appeared on the cave. Walls, lines and symbols lit up, old shapes that hurt his eyes to look at. They moved slowly, like they were breathing. He stepped back in fear. His mind searched for logic, for science, for answers. But nothing he learned in the labs could explain this place. "Why are you here?" he asked, forcing the words out. His voice echoed, small and helpless. "I have many names," the voice replied. "Before your world had oceans, I was already old." A deep vibration ran through the cave floor. The ground hummed under his feet. His body reacted on instinct. Muscles tightening, senses sharpening. He noticed something strange. The fear was still there, but beneath it, he felt strong, stronger than he ever felt before. You are not normal, the voice said. You are shaped, changed, prepared. Images flooded his mind, not memories, but visions. Stars dying, worlds breaking, ancient beings watching silently. He fell to one knee, holding his head. The pain was sharp, but it did not break him. Stop, he shouted. The images faded. The voice paused. That surprise. Him. You resist, it said. Interesting. The glowing symbols on the walls shifted again, forming new patterns. He realized they were reacting to him. You were made with stolen power, the voice continued. Power your kind does not understand. His breath caught. The scientists had hidden things from him. He always felt it. Secrets behind closed doors. Files he was never allowed to see. What am I? He asked quietly. For a long moment, the cave said nothing. Then the voice spoke with a different tone. Serious. You are a door, a bridge, a mistake they feared to open. The cave trembled again, stronger this time. Dust fell. Small stones rolled across the ground. You did not come here by chance, the voice said. The storm guided you. He looked down at his hands. They were shaking, but they did not feel weak. Outside, thunder rolled again, but distant now, like it was moving away. Why do you want me? He asked. A low sound filled the cave, deep and slow. Not hunger this time, but patience, because I am trapped, the voice answered. And you are the first human who can hear me. His eyes widened. Trapped. The voice continued. For thousands of years, I waited for prey. But you are not prey. The word sent a chill through his body. If he was not prey, then what was he? You are a key, the voice said. And keys are dangerous. The symbols on the walls flared brighter. The cave pulsed like a living heart. Earth's prototype realized something terrifying. This ancient thing was not afraid of humans. He was afraid of what humans could become, and somehow, he was the first step. The cave grew quieter after the word key was spoken. Earth's prototype slowly stood up, his legs still shaking, but his mind sharp. A key to what? He asked, his voice steadier than before. The ancient presence shifted deep in the darkness. The glowing symbols on the walls slowed their movement, as if listening to a door your kind was never meant to find. The voice replied, a door buried under fear. He remembered the labs again, the locked rooms, the hidden tests, the moments when scientists stopped talking when he entered. They knew, he whispered. They always knew. Yes, the voice answered. They touched something old. They stole a spark. The cave walls brightened, and images formed in the air. He saw early humans standing round fire, their eyes filled with wonder. Then he saw something else. Shadows watching from the dark. Long ago, the voice said, your kind was small, weak, and loud, but curious. The image changed. Humans grew, built, fought, and learned. The shadows pulled back, afraid to be seen. We slept. The voice continued. We waited for your kind to destroy itself. The prototype clenched his fists. So why didn't we? He asked. A low sound echoed, almost respect, because humans adapt. The word echoed in his chest. Adapt. Your makers feared that truth, the voice said. They saw what you could become. The symbols on the wall shifted again, forming shapes that looked almost human. Almost. They tried to control it. The voice continued. They failed. His breathing grew heavy. He remembered pain. Injections. Endless tests. They were not testing limits. They were testing fear. What did they do to me? He asked. The cave pulsed once, slow and heavy. They build you to survive what comes next. His eyes widened. What comes next? Silence. And the voice spoke softer. The old ones awaking. The images returned, darker now. Massive shapes moving under planets. Eyes opening in endless black space. Your world is loud again, the voice said. Too loud. He felt anger rise, sharp and hot. They laughed at me. He said, they called me useless. Yes, the voice replied, because humans laugh at what they fear. His hands stopped shaking. Something inside him settled, locked into place. You are not broken, the voice said. You are unfinished. Energy stirred inside his chest, warm and powerful, not painful, not forced. You are meant to choose, the voice continued. Serve, hide, or rise. The cave trembled lightly, like it was holding its breath. Rise, how? He asked. The symbols flared bright. filling the cave with white light, by becoming what your kind always becomes, the voice said. The light faded slowly, leaving the cave darker than before. Survivors. Earth's prototype straightened his back. The storm outside was gone. Now, completely silent, for the first time, he understood why he was made, not to replace humans, not to rule them, but to stand when everything else fell, and somewhere deep in the cave, the ancient presence realized something new. It had waited for a monster, but humanity had sent a mirror instead. The cave began to change after the word survivors was spoken. Earth's prototype felt the air grow heavy, like pressure before a great wave. The ancient presence moved closer, not in steps, not in sound, but in feeling. The darkness itself seemed to bend toward him. You have chosen, the voice said, and choice has a price. Pain exploded through his body, not sharp, not burning, but deep, like every cell was being rewritten. He fell to the ground, teeth clenched, hands digging into the stone. The symbols on the walls poured light into him. Streams of glowing energy wrapped around his arms and chest. His vision blurred. Memories not his own flooded his mind. Humans running from predators. Humans standing together against storms. Humans fighting when they should have died. He screamed, but the scream did not sound weak. It echoed with strength. Human will, the voice whispered, so loud, his heartbeat slowed, then changed. Each beat felt stronger, heavier, like a drum calling something awake. The pain faded. In its place came clarity. He stood, slowly at first. The cave no longer felt large, it felt small. His senses sharpened. He could hear stone grinding deep under the mountain. He could feel energy moving through the earth like blood. The ancient presence shifted back. For the first time, uncertainty entered its voice. This was not expected, it said. Earth's prototype looked at his hands. They glowed faintly. Lines of light moving under his skin. Power, controlled, waiting. You feared this, he said, his voice calm. You feared humans would learn. The cave shook harder now. Cracks formed along the walls. We feared survival, the voice replied. When humans survive, they change the rules. A deep rumble echoed. The presence revealed part of itself. Not a body, but a shape, massive and ancient, carved from shadow and memory. Once, that shape would have broken him. Now, he felt no fear. You are trapped, he said, and you wanted me to open the door. Yes, the voice answered, but doors open both ways. Energy surged through him again, but this time he guided it. The symbols responded, bending to his will. The cave lightened, no longer hostile. The ancient presence pulled back, not forced, choosing to retreat. You are not prey, the voice said, and you are not a servant. A pause, long and heavy. You're a warning. The mountain trembled, then slowly calmed. The storm outside was gone completely. Sunlight touched the cave entrance, warm, and real Earth's prototype took a step forward. But cave no longer blocked his path. It allowed him to pass. As he walked toward the light, the voice spoke one last time. Your kind will come looking for you. He did not stop walking. I know, he said, and when they do, the voice asked, what will you be? He stepped out of the cave, sunlight washing over him, not hiding, not running, human. He answered, unfinished, behind him, deep within the mountain. The ancient presence settled into silence. For the first time in its endless existence, it waited, not for prey, but for humanity. Sunlight filled the valley as Earth's prototype stepped away from the cave. The storm clouds were gone, torn apart and scattered across the sky. The air felt clean, like the world had been reset. He stood still for a moment, letting the warmth touch his skin. Everything looked the same, yet nothing felt the same inside him. Behind him, the mountain was quiet. The ancient presence had fallen silent, watching, waiting. It no longer whispered hunger, only caution. Earth's prototype looked down at his hands. The faint lines of light were still there, hidden beneath his skin, a reminder of what he had become. He thought about the people who made him, the scientists who watched through glass walls, the leaders who approved the project, the voices that laughed when he failed their tests. They believed control was safety. They believed fear was wisdom. He began to walk, leaving the cave behind. Each step felt firm, steady. The ground responded to him, like it knew he would not fall. Far away, hidden sensors began to wake. Satellites turned. Signals moved across the sky. Somewhere, Alarms blinked to life. They had found him. In a cold room filled with screens, humans stared in silence. Energy readings rose beyond safe limits. One voice whispered his name, not with laughter this time, but with fear. Earth's prototype felt it. Not the machines, not the tracking, but the attention. He stopped on a ridge and looked at the horizon. Cities lay beyond the hills, bright and unaware, millions of humans living normal lives. He felt no anger toward them, only responsibility. The ancient voice echoed faintly in his memory. When humans survive, they change the rules. He understood now. He was not meant to rule, not meant to destroy. He was meant to stand first, so others would not fall. Deep beneath the earth, old things stirred. They felt the change. They felt the signal of a human who did not break. Some retreated into deeper darkness. Others turned their attention toward Earth. The future had noted humanity. Earth's prototype took a slow breath. His body felt ready, balanced, complete. He turned toward the cities, toward the people who once laughed at him, not for revenge, but for proof. Proof that humans did not need gods. They only needed time, pressure, and choice. As he walked forward, the light under his skin faded, hidden again, waiting, high above. A satellite locked onto his position, a quiet signal sent across space. First awakened human, confirmed, somewhere far beyond the stars. Something listened, and for the first time in a very long age, the universe understood a simple truth. Humanity was no longer alone, and it was no longer afraid. The cave behind him collapsed gently, sealing away the ancient watcher. Not destroyed, contained Earth's prototype never looked back, because the future was not behind him anymore. It was walking with him.